Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Welcome to day 4 of our meditation challenge, I guess. I don't like calling it a challenge because it's more of a discipline-oriented practice. It is a challenge. Heard the bells ringing this morning. I honestly love waking up early in the weekends because it's really quiet outside. Really, really quiet. And it's like, apart from the bells, like you can't hear any cars or barely any cars. You can't hear people talking. And it's like you wake up and it's just like there aren't even birds singing. It's very strange. So this is weekends in the countryside. So I hope you're all doing well and that you're enjoying. We're on day 4 today. And today I wanted to talk about our desires. Desire for anything, really. And it's really interesting because we have a tendency to want something, but then right away when we want something, we have a tendency to cut ourselves off before we actually can make anything happen for ourselves. And before anything can happen in the physical realm, it has to happen energetically first, like it's a frequency. And for that to happen, it has to be a mental thought. It has to be a mental pattern of what you really want for yourself. And it's interesting because if we don't know exactly what we want, or if we're not clear on what our desires are, pretty much we live kind of just like on the border line of our desires and not actually like within them. And it's interesting because yesterday I was sitting with myself again, and this is something that I recommend and I do also for myself. I try to do it more regularly now because there's a lot of change happening, and so sitting with yourself on a regular basis and asking yourself, are the desires and dreams that I want still what I want? And so I was sitting with myself yesterday asking myself what I wanted for myself is still what I wanted. And the more I processed through it and the more I went through it, it kind of came like the picture that I wanted came clear and it became more into focus. And that's so beautiful to me because I haven't had a really focused dream or desire in a really long time, and I haven't had this want inside of me to really create something so powerful. And that's what dreams and desires are. Dreams, they help us create, or they help us focus and have a direction to what we want for ourselves. But they need to be very clear. They need to be very, you have to be able to see them very clearly, like your picture that you want. It can't be grainy or blurry, and if they are, that means that when you're working towards your dream or goal or whatever it is, you're gonna encounter a lot of obstacles just because of the uncertainty that you have inside of yourself. And I mean, this is a lesson that I'm learning. I'm still learning every single day, you know, and it's really powerful to have things in focus and have things in certainty. And when we don't, that's when things start to feel really tiring or feel really difficult, even though it's in the direction that you want to go, kind of. You don't really know exactly where you want to be going, so it's really up and down, and you can try all of these things, but nothing may be working. I mean, this really depends on you and your desires. So for today's meditation, I'm going to dedicate our 10 minutes of sitting towards that. We're going to be sitting with our desires, and we're going to try and bring our picture into focus and become really clear with ourselves as to what we want and what we want our life to look like. Because if we don't have this innate clarity inside of ourselves to make our desires happen, or to be more disciplined with ourselves to create what we want, everything is going to feel like a challenge. Everything is going to feel overwhelming and stressful. And the point of life in the universe is that when we want things to happen for ourselves, and we're very clear about them, generally things happen very quickly. I mean, in my experience, when things are meant to happen, there's definitely work behind it, but there's no that much work involved with finding the people interested in it. Or I generally will meet the people that I'm supposed to meet to make this project happen, or whatever it is. Things flow naturally, and it might take its time, or, you know, it might not happen right away, but it'll happen, you know, like through different processes or whatever, but it'll happen on its own. Whereas with the work that you put in, whereas when you're blurred or you're out of focus, but you still have, like, you know what you want, but you don't know the details of the situation, then the universe will send you a bunch of different ways to get there, but it'll be really confusing because they are going to overlap each other, and they sometimes are going to block, like, one direction is going to block this other direction from happening or whatever, and things just seem to get complicated really quickly. So for today's meditation, we're just going to sit with ourselves, and we're just going to bring you can choose one or several. Let's start with one and see where that takes you. But sit with your dream. We're going to sit with it for the next 10 minutes and be with yourself. Like, how much more into focus can you bring this scenario? How can you see it? How does it feel in your body when you're there? How does it, how can you express yourself in the situation? What are you wearing? How are you acting? What is around you? What are the smells, the textures, everything that's going on around you? Allow yourself to be in that moment. And just allow yourself to process. Like, where are you? What are you feeling? And are you really, are you actually where you think you want to go? Or is your soul showing you what it actually desires and not what your mind thinks it wants? Because that's important. Sometimes our soul wants something, but then our mind doesn't see it clearly, so it'll kind of invent its own reasoning or its own kind of product or end focus, when actually it's not really what the soul wants. So wherever you are, grab the things that you're going to need for your meditation today. So your journal, a comfortable seat, if you want a hot beverage, some water, whatever. I'm going to set my timer up, and I'm going to see and meet you on the mat, or on your pillow, more likely on the pillow. On the mat if you're going to do yoga after. That's also possible. So I am going to set my timer. So for this one, I really recommend that you have your journal with you, because writing down your dream afterwards of what it looks like, how it feels like, is gonna help you so much to find that focus point, the details, write the details down. What are you actually living in that situation? And then once you have the details, things will become a lot clearer as to what are the stepping stones you need to do to actually get to where you want to go. So let's take a comfortable seat. We're going to close our eyes, or you can find a drishti, a gaze point, on the floor in front of you. Something that's not moving. Your spine is straight. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Taking a deep inhale, filling your entire lungs with air. And exhale, let it go. One more time. Deep inhale. And exhale, release. And one last time, deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Taking a moment now to just feel yourself sitting here on your pillow. Feeling yourself connected to the earth. Feeling your energy land and ground. Feeling yourself slow down and just become more present, more aware. Slowly release your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms slowly become heavy. Just feel yourself here in this moment, fully present of your body. When you're ready, you can gently step into the observer seat and ask your soul to bring your dream into focus. At the end of the meditation, I will let you know when time is up, and we'll slowly come out of the meditation together. If at any point you feel yourself drift away into your consciousness and away from the focus of the meditation. Gently come back to your breath. Take a few deep breaths and come back to the question, to your soul, to ask your soul to bring your dream, your goal into focus. Taking a deep inhale, filling your entire lungs with air. Exhale, let it all go. Slowly start to bring soft movement back into your body. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, bringing light back into your vision. And take a few moments to just look at everything around you. Look at everything that your life looks like, the things that you have in your life. And just sit with it for a moment, just to say thank you. I really encourage you to write everything down that came up during the meditation, if you had anything come up, because this is a very powerful one to just let yourself dream and to think what you really want for yourself. So write it all down, because writing it down can help you also bring it deeper and deeper into clarity. So thank you so much for joining me on day 4, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 5. Have a beautiful day.